Hey there, YouTube friends, maskedbandit here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me again today. I always do appreciate it. Welcome back to Newzoo to Zoo. Newzoo to you. Man, I can never say it right. I always say it wrong. Anyway, we are back at the beginning, near the entrance of the park, and today we are going to be working on a reptile house modeled after the Bronx Zoo's lion house. Obviously, we will not have any lions in our reptile exhibit, but this was quite the challenge, given the pieces. Getting the proportions right, getting it to look right, getting it to look like it won't dwarf the people, getting the sides to be the right width and narrowness, the cement blocks, everything was quite a chore, and it really took some getting to it. It was not easy. We'll talk a bit more about it as we go through, trying to find pieces to work. And, it feels like we're working with, it's weird because being a Planet Coaster player, everything is so familiar, and yet these scenery sets are still so foreign. And we are so very limited to have the parts of the three that we have. I'm not even sure if these are the whole scenery sets. I feel like they're not. I feel like we're missing pieces. And so it's hard not to make what you're making look super samey compared to what other people are making, trying to make sure yours is unique and good and worth watching. I mean, to be completely frank. And that's why it's taken me a little while to dive into a big architectural build like this. This is the first one of Planet Zoo. It's our first Planet Zoo major architectural build. And it's kind of exciting. Hopefully you enjoy the way it turns out. The hard part is, I've seen a lot of this style, and it's because it's what the game has. And there's this interesting discussion going on with some of us about it's interesting because a lot of our Planet Coaster players, it was all about pushing the boundaries of the pieces and seeing all the interesting things you can make. And I know, like, Silverette is awesome at that. He kind of led the way in that, and it's felt different. At least for me, it's felt different. Like, I want to use the scenery pieces, I want to use the themes as they were intended, because they feel so right and so appropriate for a zoo. And so that's what we're doing. We're really trying hard to make this classical set feel right. And the biggest problem I'm running into is the old the old scale monster. A Planet Coaster, everything is scaled to like 1.5 times the size it needs to be, and therefore everything just feels big. And I know that's what they wanted. They wanted this really grand feeling, but I want everything to feel in proportion with the guests. And that was where the struggle. Like, you'll notice I'm not using walls on those columns on the side. I used brick pillars and just nested a couple together to get the width I want. I also had to double up the brick, the concrete, or I don't know what they're called, the trims there. I needed to double those up to get them the thickness I wanted. Everything was just slightly out of scale with itself. And this entrance took the longest because it is the most interesting part of the building. And once I was able to nail it down, everything came together much, much quicker. And I'm really excited because not only is the exterior here the first for me, this is the first time I build an interior in Planet Zoo, and it's pretty simple and straightforward. It's functional. It is a functional reptile house and critter. Reptiles and snakes and amphibians. You know, they usually have those all kind of put together if they don't have their own separate bug house. And sometimes even when they do have their own separate insect house, they end up throwing some of them in with the reptiles. So, but yeah, we're back now. It's been a couple days since we've had a Planet Zoo episode. I played with some friends, some Dungeons and Dragons on Wednesday, and the way my schedule has been working, I have to record the night before, and then I do the voiceover for the episode. Or I have to play, and then the night before I plan to release it, I need to do the voiceover. And so I've always had an episode's worth of stuff done 2 days before the episode has come out. And I'm all caught up now because of the 2 days I took off. I played yesterday, and here I am now doing the voiceover, and this video will be out on Saturday. So this is a couple days old now. The game has patched since this has come out. Curious to see what that does to the stability of the game, if we see any big changes. One of the things I struggled with in this was, do I want to have it open so that you could see into the interior, or do I want to use some of the really nice classic doors? At first, I wanted to keep it open, but then there was no way for me to make it look good and make it look realistic, like where we had doors open, leading, like open doors. It didn't look right. So I ended up closing it all off and just doing the in-game doors and the peeps face through it, and that's just a sacrifice you gotta make, and I'm okay with it because having the separation between the inside and the outside I think makes both stronger. So what I'm doing here is one of the things on this on the reference is they have like a much more modern picture a display for the exhibit compared to the old style building. So I really wanted to do that. I really wanted a much more cutesy, colorful, modern, like, hey, come look, this is what's going on in the Reptile house right now. So we add the old Reptile house sign, and then we're going to give the little colorful sign we made a name to. And I think it's Amazon Explored or something. So maybe the story is we have some special Amazon animals in the exhibit right now. Who knows? But I like the way this turned out. I think it adds that little bit of tack that a lot of zoos tend to have, like just trying to gussy up old buildings, trying to draw your interest in architecture that might be a little stale. So added these little zebra banners. I like them. They don't fit the reptile thing, but I don't care. I think they look nice, so I'm leaving them there. We have ourselves a couple more minutes of time lapse before we're going to take a look at this in real time. A good chunk of the interior, especially the night lighting, I did off camera, and so I'll show it to you. It looks better in real time anyway to see what's going on. So I just wanted to plug my second tutorial if you haven't already checked it out. If you're just finding me with this video and you want to know more about habitat basics, check out my habitat tutorial, as well as I also did a tutorial, just basic building tutorial. As a Planet Coaster player that's transitioning to Planet Zoo, I went ahead and kind of the shortcuts I use that make building a little less tedious, because building this game can be quite tedious and quite overwhelming if you're new to it. And the quicker you can learn the shortcuts, the better off you're going to be. One of the biggest issues I've had with the beta so far is how the grid kind of shifts itself and kind of messes itself up. You'll see there I keep having weird grid things happening. And what you got to do to fix it is I have to go, there's a button called select grid, and I click it and I click on one of the pieces of the building and it snaps the grid back into place. But I had to do it really frequently, and I think it has to do with when you select numerous pieces to duplicate or numerous pieces to rotate, that's when the grid gets all wonky on you. But anyway, we are finishing up the shell here, so why don't we take a little break, and when I return we'll be in real time and you will see the completed reptile house. So I'll see you on the other side of this cut. Alright, so here we are in the live portion, and here's our reptile building. And I like how actually most of it is hidden behind the trees, and it feels very grown in, even though there's nothing on either side of it. Have to fix that pretty soon. We're running out of time here in the beta. But I like that you can go up the stairs here, or we do have access. We have ramp access here. So let's head up. Oh, there's some litter. I'm having a litter problem. It's funny. In Planet Coaster, I have tons of trash cans and tons of handymen and stuff like that. Pay no attention to everyone phasing in and out of the wall. But in Planet Zoo, I'm being very negligent of the guests. So here's a better look at the Amazon Explored sign. I think it turned out pretty okay. Let's go through the doors. Here is the interior of our reptile exhibit, reptile house. We have over here, I thought it'd be cute to use some of those really cool signs that are in the game, and so I tried to create like an amphibian info, like assume there would be like information written here, and it was really cool because I was actually able to put one of those information panels here. And they have one all about the amphibian, the mass amphibian extinction. The amphibian extinction crisis. So it's not cool that they have that, but it's cool that that was one of the, education things you can put in. And it just felt so right with this frog exhibit here. On this side, we have like snakes, and I don't know what you're supposed to take away from this one. But I think they look kind of cool, and it's better than just a boring brick wall there. So that's why we threw those in. Oh man, there is lots of trash in here. Let's throw some trash cans in here. So we have currently 1, 2, 3. I think we have 5 exhibits. We probably could have squeezed in 2 more, but they were bleeding through the walls, and I did not like that. Oh, yeah, look at all the trash. Oh, my gosh, there's so much trash. Anyway, the main focal point here is our boa constrictor. Where is the boa? I have a hard time finding the animals in here. I really don't know where they're at. I have not played with these very much at all, so apologies if we can't find the... Here, let's go in it. Where is he? I don't... Man, they're good at hiding, I guess. I think there's a boa in here. There's supposed to be a boa in here. No idea. Oh, there it is! It's right there. Look at that. It's all balled up. Well, that's unfortunate. Mr. Ooh. There it is. There's the boa hanging out there. It's a little underwhelming, just going to say. And over here we have some froggies. We have the giant frog, or the Goliath frog, and then we have the poison dart frog. These are my favorite kind of frogs. I hope they include more colors, because they are so neat. Now, I'm not even going to bother looking for... Oh, he's up there! We found him. He's up there. He's right there. That's cool. How close can I get? I can get pretty close to him. There he is. Oh, he blinks! Look at that! That's kind of neat. So we got 2 frogs, and then over here we have our python, and they look like they're getting stuck. Uh-oh, that doesn't seem to be working well. Are they getting stuck in here? Oh no, I might have to remove these benches. Let's get rid of these benches. Yeah, the benches seem to be messing things up. I haven't actually seen them use benches very frequently, so... Yeah, look at all these people, they're stuck. Crap. Well, I'll have to come in here and do some tweaking, I suppose. We've got a big old spider. This is the Birdeater. What is this called? This is the Goliath Birdeater. I think that's pretty cool. And then we have a big old scorpion in here somewhere. My only concern is I wish that these were smaller. I wish that there was a way to make smaller tanks, because these are huge. And the fact that they're all the same for all the animals is kind of a bummer. But I get the limitations. Maybe someday we can get smaller tanks. That'd be cool. But I really enjoy looking at this. Let's switch it over to nighttime. I did some minimal lighting. I figured a reptile exhibit would probably be pretty dim. The ones I've been in were pretty dim. And you walk around and the exhibits are lit up appropriately. So I think this looks so much nicer at night. So wanted to get that look too. Yeah, I know you're lost. I know you're lost. Here. Let's fix you. We're gonna move you. All right, here. There. Now get out. There. So it looked like those were the only 2 that were really struggling. Okay. So yeah, I think this turned out better than I anticipated. Better than I thought it was going to. I think as an interior it's fairly simple, but I like what it does. So I'm pleased with it. Hopefully you think it looks pretty good too. So let's get back to daytime. Ooh, so bright. Let's head back outside. And that's about all. This took me a solid 2 hours to do. I'm a slow builder when I have a reference image and I really want to make it look right, but I think it's worth it. I think it looks really cool. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. So in the next episode, I don't know where we're going to go. We might stick with this older part and do what I talked about over here. We might add, I have some tapirs I could throw in over here, kind of fit this area. Maybe we'll do a tapir exhibit. I have no idea what those would need, but we'll look into it. And then I know before the beta's over, I want to do a big indoor taiga exhibit where we put our bears and our wolves, and we have a snow leopard, and that's really kind of what I want to, my next big thing that I want to do. So stick around. I'm going to be playing a lot this weekend. Hopefully going to be able to bank a bunch of footage so we can roll videos out. Maybe even after the beta has closed, we'll be able to get some extra episodes out. So hopefully that'll be happening. So I'd like to try and do another tutorial as well. We'll see. But I think that's going to do it for me. So if you enjoyed, please hit the like button. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing so you don't miss any of the Planet Zoo or any of the other awesome stuff here on the channel. And as always, have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.